called Herod the Great. He was also called a king, but he too was in name only. The Roman Emperor Augustus appointed him, the father, governor at the same time that Jesus was born. Now, rumors about this Jesus had been circulating, and the people speculated about who he really was. Now, remember, this is in reference. Some people thought he was John the Baptist, raised from the dead, Elijah. Still others thought he was just one of the prophets. Notice that these are the same rumors that Jesus' disciples talked about when Jesus asked them the question, "Who do they say I am? Who do you say that I am?" The king was convinced that only one of these rumors could be true. You see, John the Baptist, the prophet, whom he had feared and revered, might have come back from the dead. King Herod arrested John, put him in prison because the prophet had condemned his marriage to the queen. All right, here's where it gets complex. His marriage to the queen, who happened to be his brother's ex-wife. A little bit of a Peyton Place scene here. King saw himself as sort of a modern Messiah because he had taken on the role that his father, King Herod the Great, had started in rebuilding the temple of Jerusalem. But John the Baptist attacked the line of thinking by saying, in effect, that no real Messiah would do the shameful things that you have done in your life. So what had Antipas done? Here we go. He had fallen in love, or at least in lust, with his niece, Herodias, who was the wife of his half-brother Herod II, called Philip. We call him Philip because we don't want to confuse him with his full brother, Herod Philip, who was tetrarch of the area of East Jordan. Anyway, family. They met around 29 AD, and the king visited his half-brother Philip on the way to Rome. And as for the niece, the idea of being married to a tetrarch, a king, sounded pretty good to her, so she divorced her husband. And Herod divorced his wife. And she moved into the palace where they hoped to live happily ever after. This was a political problem. It was a major violation to Jewish law that forbade marriage to a brother's wife unless it was to raise the children of his brother. That was part of Levite marriage doctrine we find in Deuteronomy. It's also mentioned in Mark. See what I mean about a little Peyton Place? Herodias saw John the Baptist, who was calling public attention to all of this. She saw him as a pain in the, she saw this as a pain in her aspirations. She wanted him out of the way. She wanted him dead. As I'm reading this over and over again, I'm reminded of, what was that other story in the Bible? King David, Bathsheba, Uriah the Hittite. Back to John the Baptist. The king feared and protected John because he was a holy man and he really liked the way he preached. Only one problem, he really didn't get it. He really didn't understand. King, tetrarch, a little slow maybe. He was just perplexed at what John was preaching. Because you see, John was proclaiming nothing less than the coming of a real Messiah. The kind of kingdom and power that Antipas desired was nothing to the one who would usher in the kingdom of God. The king would be confused about Jesus until the very end. You know, he really never realized that the one that wore the crown of thorns was true royalty. So here we are back at the palace. It was time for King Herod's birthday. So he decides, I'm going to throw a bash. I'm going to have a party for myself. I'm going to invite all the rich and powerful people. Now, Jews didn't normally celebrate their birthdays, but the Romans and Greeks did, and they threw big bashes. And he was an aficionado of Roman and Greek life because he liked to party down. And parties of the Herodian court were legendary for their excesses. And we can be sure that King Herod indulged in more than a few glasses from the punch bowl. Herodias, seeing this as a chance to influence her new husband and bump off that agonizing and annoying prophet. So she had her daughter dance for her new husband. He was loose, he was lusty, and Antipus went nuts over the stepdaughter's dance. Another note. And he made this rash oath. I will give you anything you want, even half of my kingdom. Well, truly it wasn't his kingdom to give away. And when the daughter asked her mom, the nasty queen was ready with the request. For my birthday, give me the head of John the Baptist on a platter. Not exactly cake and ice cream. So Herod's now trapped in his own words. Wanting nothing to lose faith in front of the members of his court, he reluctantly ordered for his servants to bring the Baptist's head on a plate. And then the girl gave it to her mother, as though she were giving her mother a birthday present. So here's a little sidebar on that. It's an interesting note that Mark spends more ink on this story than things like the birth of Jesus. Only a side comment on the baptism by John. Just a little bit in the Gospel of Mark about Jesus' journey into the wilderness and his teachings. We find most of that information out from the other Gospels. So the moral of this story is that following the true King is a costly business. Giving our allegiance to him, and he will put us sideways with the political and social forces that seem to govern the world around us. Speaking the truth often results in being ignored. Sometimes speaking the truth pushes aside at best and at worst, and puts many on a cross. And that's where the true Messiah ended up. And he doesn't hesitate to tell us that we're odds-on favorites to join him on that same cross. I mentioned earlier Dietrich Bonhoeffer's book, The Cost of Discipleship. He reminds us when Christ calls us to come, when Christ beckons to us, he also says, come and die. But this odd story in Mark also reminds us that you and I, we are invited to a different kind of party. Because immediately after this horrific story of John the Baptist and the birthday party of King Herod, Mark quickly shifts to something much different. Remember the feeding of the 5,000? Jesus will give everyone nourishment from just 5 loaves and 2 fish. So contrasting the two, the party that Herod threw in honor of himself, his own birth, with an exclusive guest list restricted to the rich and powerful, and his drunken lust condemned the holy man to death, neither Mark nor Jesus seemed to care about the real Messiah's birthday. And yet, Jesus throws a party for the poor, the hungry, out of compassion, and brings life to people in need. So the question that Mark asked of us is, which king do you want to follow? And which party do you want to be a part of in the very end? John's death foreshadowed the death of Jesus, who, like John, spoke nothing but the truth to those of power. The result was the same: death. The Gospel of Mark, God offers a party invitation to all who believe. A party invitation that requires no prerequisite of past sin. I'm reminded now of that story that I've told you several times before of my youth sitting in the Methodist church there in Lakeland, College Heights, and it was time for the prayer confession that the minister offered every single Sunday. Now, trying to broaden the opportunity of sin, he went through this list of sins, and I thought to myself, this man must have a closet full of things to be forgiven for. Which none of that applied to me at my age of 12 years old. Well, at least then. So Jesus' invitation to you, no matter what your situation is in life, death isn't the end of the story for believers. You see, the party is just getting started. And it's still going on. And if you're not at this party, it's certainly not because you haven't been invited. Jesus invites you to the party. Wouldn't today be a good day to accept that invitation? And all children say, Amen.
Don't forget, we have a soup and sandwich following, so don't rush off. But everybody stand up, because all things are possible. Let's stand up.
Soup and sandwich. We have wonderful soups. Today we have summer corn chowder. We have loaded potato soup. And we have chicken noodle. Plus all the fixins. And to top it off with an ice cream sundae at the end. So, stick around. And all the children say, Amen. Amen.
I told you one song years
For the tables so far.
So it's lighter. But if those ladies are going to come back, if you need me, let me know. I'm looking for Fred.
Young Fritz.
Cover your table. Oh, there's no break.
Interviews are coming up.
Oh, good.
We had fun.
Good, I'm glad. I hope to see you guys again.
I'm not tired now.
No, you're fine.
Then you guys gotta go back to school. You gotta go back to school. When you go back. Overtime. Maybe August? Yeah, maybe.
What grade are you in? Yeah, I'm not going. I'm going the 7th into the high school. Because they're fixing up the new I have to
And what made you in?
somebody shot.
What made you in? You not gonna go? What made you in?
Alright, so next.
Oh, it's not a scooper in ice.
Yeah, but we use the red.
Oh, yeah.
baby, they're gonna come around with a card to fill out. I'm just gonna make sure you got silverware first. And if they can ride on.
Yeah, we couldn't find it this morning.
Enjoy your baby while she's hiding. It's 49 faster.
Well, I didn't get to read it yet.
Oh, it's got your
That's back.
That's all right, it's a Friday.
Even if you start out
I sure can, it's on my phone, but I sent it to you. I'll write it down.
We don't get categories, Anthony. Right here. Yeah, I've got it. Now, right after you begin, you went down, try finding your office.
Oh, yeah, yeah, right.
You did, down there, that. It's in that little building, right? We found it, we found it.
I'll do this until guys.
Had this house, is a sign out front. Yeah, we found it, Michael was on it. I just didn't try to tell him.
Do we have any yet? Yeah. They got what?
Oh, okay. Yeah, there be some back of the building, so I thought, maybe that is that right now. That's not right now. Just my car.
Okay, so this is the menu.
Is that your car?
Oh, you don't have to write it down. I always eat last, whatever's left. Okay. Only if you want to, or you leaving? Are you gonna sit and eat? Oh, okay. I've already got you soup packed up if you have a chow. There's also So you're staying
Oh, I didn't.
I didn't mean to.
Oh, that'd be good. Yeah, that'd be good.
I told you in the 30. What? I don't know until you get done eating and go home. I got 2 friends here. So they're not gonna be driving
Hey,
No, man.
Are you, did you call me or what? Come on, we got it. All right, bye.
It takes a while.
Okay, table number 2. That's why I said.
Bye. Where are you going? No.
I don't think you've heard yours.
I think this is.
Oh, okay.
This is different. Oh, it is. It's tall, hard. Yeah.
Okay, I got our table. You can read it. Normally we have one of these for every house. Put it in print. So what we're going to do is this is the menu. I'm going to leave you blank cards to fill out for each person because I printed it. I need one too. I'm going to promise. 3 and 4. Okay. So you just fill it out like you see it here, but there's instructions on the paper. Chicken salad sandwich is not written if you want to write it. Oh, chicken salad, they know they have the option of chicken salad. Bag. Right, so that way they know. Okay, so Ms. Angie can help you know what's available, and then I can, get some answers for a minute. And wait just for a second.
I wasn't at the table when they signed up.
Would you like
Like you're gonna go up to the house and turn and go over there? No. got these more blankets. Sugar kids to read. I'm gonna call her back right now. Have you tried the? I've seen that.
Would you like an ice cream sundae?
Go down the secret and go for stuff. Or get cheese for you.
So that's
You
your,
got to have
would you like chicken noodles, baked potato, or orange chicken? And would you like a grilled cheese quesadilla or chicken salad? We have grilled cheese, quesadilla, or chicken salad.
I need to borrow it. Keep in my car. Right there. I keep the bottle.
So Anthony, would you like chicken noodle, baked potato, or orange chicken noodle?
And then what about, we got a piece of beer. Keep them on the jalapeno water or no jalapeno?
I'll be right back.
Just sit. Get yourself a drink. Sharon gets something down there. Is it real up? It's gonna come there.
Yep, I just caught up with them. She's trying to get her down to 62. And I said, so what was the temperature?
No more leaving?
He explains to her that it's only dropped 20 degrees from what's on outside. And 62, holy cow, I'm waiting for snow.
Ice cream's good.
All right.
Did you know ice cream is not good? Buddy's my bud.
And it was snowing the other day. And he's not really looking like he used to because of the knee. So he's got a